Ubisoft just announced Assassin's Creed Mirage, and of course, I am super excited for this game. But still, there are some things that I've heard about this game which I think that it's kind of gonna put the community a little bit disappointed in terms of what we are all expecting Assassin's Creed Mirage is to be when it comes out. So there's the reason I'm making this video so that people can get some kind of reality check on what to expect from Assassin's Creed Mirage. And obviously, if you have very high expectations for any game and at the end the result turns out to be nothing like that you've imagined from, as far as what I've heard about this game, I would honestly suggest you guys to always lower your expectations. Please do not keep your expectations too high or even compare this title to any other titles that we have so far in the Assassin's Creed series now. The reason why I'm saying this, for those of you guys who think that since the game is now releasing in 2023, the graphics and the gameplay is basically going to look much better than Assassin's Creed Valhalla or any other Assassin's Creed games that is released previously, because of course people are obviously gonna think that the newer titles are gonna look much better than the previous ones, and this indeed is a logical thought, I would say. But still, you guys need to know that Assassin's Creed Mirage is actually being developed with the same engine that was used for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which means that the game is pretty much going to look the same. At the same time, they're going to make few changes here and there, but still the game is very much identical. So the gameplay might not look entirely different as we have seen in the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Maybe Ubisoft decided to add in more stealth, more parkour system with this one. On a whole new set of animations would have been added, which could like enhance the way the gameplay looks in place and stuff like that. But still, the way the engine kind of handles the entire game is going to remain pretty much similar to what we have seen with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because it's the same engine, it's the same game. And apparently, if you guys don't know this already, Assassin's Creed Mirage was originally planned to be released as a DLC expansion for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which means that it's just an add-on content, it's just an expansion. Ubisoft now decided to have a different vision for this DLC expansion, decide to make it a standalone game and make it as its own title. We're going to be playing as a younger version of Basim, which means that you're going to take a look into a whole different perspective of the character that we have seen in Valhalla, because the character that we saw in Valhalla is basically Basim, who was overtaken by Loki himself. So obviously, whatever best of action that we saw in the game is pretty much Loki, uh, who played as Basim himself. Another very important thing that you guys should know is that since we have now played all the recent Assassin's Creed games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, all these games seem to have been a very, very massive in size. They had their own quests, a storyline, and the game was basically the hundreds of hours long. So we had an entire world to explore, and we had a pretty much different experience. But now Ubisoft has very clearly stated that this game is not going to be RPG. It's not going to be any sort of action RPG like we have seen with Origin or Valhalla. Even so, this means that they're going to be sticking more to a linear gameplay. You're not going to be exploring the map most of your time, and it's going to be very limited in size and scale. And it's going to be very similar to Assassin's Creed Unity. You can't expect the map to be super huge, of course. You're not going to play, you do not have places to explore. And because recently a leaker from Bloomberg has now mentioned that there are not going to be 4 different cities in the game, which means that you're not going to be able to explore all different types of cities. So this is of course a huge news, and the map is not going to be too big. It's a medium sized game, so keep your expectations low, and just keep this in mind that map is actually too small now. Another very interesting thing all of us should realize and also have a reality check here is that Ubisoft is not releasing Assassin's Creed Mirage as a full on 2023 title that is gonna take over the world of Assassin's Creed. It's just gonna be some sort of a DLC expansion turned into a standalone title, which is gonna fill up the void space that is left over until Assassin's Creed Infinity drops. Because Infinity is, of course, as we all know, Ubisoft's flagship game that Ubisoft is working on right now. Since the game is going to be a live service game, there is going to be so much content coming up for Assassin's Creed Infinity. It's currently in development, and Ubisoft needs more time for it, and that's the reason they are just filling up the void with Assassin's Creed Mirage.